Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing great. Um, I want as many people as possible to be able to watch this live stream. So please, if you can just share this link with your friends. And it's very important that we are able to get this info to as many people as possible. I just want to go and move this board across. I'll be with you now. I didn't notice that just before we started. Um, so thanks for joining me. We have just over 50 people watching, and I want you to share this link. It's very important that we get as many people as possible to watch my perspective on people that speak about the end of the world. I think they generate a lot of income because of this fear that people have for world end times, etc. And I've spoken to many people that have said to me in person, but the world is going to end soon. In fact, yesterday was another end of the world day. And there's a YouTube channel, God's Roadmap to the End. And I'm sure this person has the best intentions in the world, but he doesn't understand basic uh, understandings of the universe. There's many other things that he clearly doesn't understand, and I haven't gone and looked at the entire channel. I was exposed to a channel like that by someone that I work with, and saying that the rapture or whatever these people consider to be the rapture will take place right now, and therefore we don't have to do anything. You can just sit back and wait, and you're going to be saved. You're going to be taken up somewhere and be removed from all your cares. These people are lying to you. They're not only lying to you, it is a bad deception, which means that you in your life, you're going to be not doing things that you really need to do to deal with what we are going to be going through. And the first big problem that I have with what these people speak of is they speak as if we're going through terrible times right now, as if we've gone through hectic tribulations and all sorts. And this is not a reflection on them. They clearly don't have the knowledge or understanding that I have. So uh, I have peace with these people. I'm giving you my perspective, and it's important. I believe that I need to put it out there because, unfortunately, there's many people suffering at the hands of these people's misunderstandings, misgivings, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to give you my perspective, and I think my perspective is important because, firstly, my understanding of the universe, various religions, various spiritual ways of thinking, I think is quite broad. I have studied this extensively. And that is why I can tell you the world's not going to end tomorrow or in the next year or in the next 10 years, in fact. In fact, the world will not come to an end. Dispensation will come to an end, and that'll certainly happen. And I'm not going to go into that detail now. But what is important is that you understand that we are not going through tribulation yet. The world is going into a phase where life will become so difficult that you will wish that you weren't alive. And for some people, they might feel like we are there already, and we are in that transition phase now, but we are nowhere near the difficulties that will come in future. And if we don't prepare for them to actually get through them, and just sit back and wait, your life is going to be hell because of a person that doesn't understand very basic concepts. And it's not just one of them, there's thousands of them around the world that have predicted end times or raptures or anything like that. And they don't know what they are talking about. Not even slightly. I haven't found one person out there in the mainstream social media anywhere that speaks any sense or has any common sense about what's happening in the world, in the universe, in our galaxy, at all, not even slightly, nowhere. So this is a huge problem, and I don't consider myself an expert, but these people certainly they are thinking on a very primal and backwards footing, and this doesn't help you when you have to make decisions in your life. You need to live every day of your life like it could be the last day. You should be happy to die, and everything that you've done in your life um, has been the best that you can give. You should never think, ah, I can do all of these things I consider bad, and later I will make it up. That's not the way to live. So you should live every day happy with what you've done at the end of the day. When you lay your head down, you should be content with everything that you've done. Welcome to the over 270 people watching now. Please share this link so more people can watch this. I do believe this perspective is vitally important because we need people that are willing to do what it takes to get through the times when tribulation really starts to set in and things start to get really tough. And the reason why I say that is that there's no one coming to save us now. It's not happening now. There's still decades left. And a lot of people might disagree with me. When those decades have gone, you'll come to me and say, Desmond, how did you know this? There's a reason why I know this. And I don't want to go into that debate right now, but I can tell you that there's time. And we have to go through plenty suffering still. If people think we are suffering right now, you have no idea what is coming. We are going to suffer tribulation that is going to be on a global scale and is going to change the face of the world, the way people see the world, the way people see everything around them. People are going to beg for change in their lives. They're going to beg for entities that they disagree with now to save them when that time comes. And it's going to be bad choices that they make if they're not prepared. So all I've been trying to do with my channel is give people my perspective because I believe I have a right to do that. And with that perspective, you can then decide how you want to live your life. And you don't have to listen to what I say or apply what I say at all in your life. You can absolutely ignore it, but I want you to at least hear it. And if you think that these people that have said the 29th of October, the world is coming to an end, if you think that that is okay, that they get away with it every single time, when they've had dates since who knows when, since 2016, the world's coming to an end. 2018, the world's coming to an end. 2020, the world's coming to an end. 2022. Just go back in these people's video lines and you'll see that they are perpetual nutcases. Their minds need drama and disaster, and they have to see build-ups, and they find anything they can. They poke things together into videos and all sorts of content to drive fear into people and get mass followings because they're appealing to one of the deepest things in the human soul, and that is the fear of death and the fear of uncertainty. It's so much easier for someone to know that on that date, this is what's going to happen. Then the person can plan for that and can make peace with it. I've spoken to people that have said to me, oh, fortunately, we've been given more grace. No, some idiot lied to you. That's what happened. Someone lied to you and you were taken by that. You prepared for something that was never going to happen and you wasted your time and energy. And you've done nothing that you need to do for what is still to come. And people should be afraid of that. I want people to think that you should always be ready to die. Always. And the next thing I want you to do is to prepare to live the best life you can now, not just for yourself and for your spouse and for your kids and your extended family and your community and your country, but for humanity as a whole. We need people to become and be the best that they can be and actively work at it. In Afrikaans, there used to be a saying when I was younger, laat Gods water oor Gods akker loop. In other words, you should just let God do what he wants to you. In other words, you have no say in the matter. Now, this is not true. Those of you that watch my meeting for the greater good will know that the greater good is a lie, a deception that's put out there, making you think it's for the greater good for me to do nothing. Just sit back and wait to be raptured, or whatever you want to call it. And I am frustrated by this, because not because those people believe it, but because they're doing nothing to help themselves and others in preparing for a process that's going to be extremely difficult. And in South Africa specifically, in this country, we have a chance to do something incredible. In South Africa, I'll repeat that, in the Southern African region, we have a chance to do something truly incredible. We can build a superpower where we are at, because of the type of people we have, because of the type of country we have. The US goes and says that there's a terror threat in Sandton. What do the people do? Say, hey, we're all going to Sandton. We want to see the terror threat. They think it's an absolute joke that the US can say there's going to be a terror threat when people live in terror in this country every single day of their lives in various communities. Our people can handle almost everything. There's about 70 people killed per day in this country. This is worse than in most wars in the world. So in South Africa, people are used to killing. They are used to bullets flying around. They are used to many of these things. And we have lived with that for so long. Our people are incredibly resilient, and we're getting to a time now where in the country, us as citizens can do something tangibly to turn this country into something profound. And we're not going to achieve that if everyone is waiting for themselves to be taken away the next day, or some day that some person on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter has declared. Now, what is wrong? And I'm just using one example, there's many. With this channel's name, God's Roadmap to the End. It's a sense of entitlement. It's someone entitling themselves to know that they are giving that roadmap. That is utter twak. If there's a God of the universe, which I believe there is, that created this universe, which I believe happened, no matter your religious background or non-religious background, for someone to claim that they have the roadmap to the end is psychotic to begin with. So this person has a problem. And most of the people that predict these things do. They have psychological issues. And I'll probably get roasted for this. And on this channel, as you know, I'm brutally honest. I don't care if people want to roast me or get upset with me. I need to tell you how I feel, because I think it's important that my voice is also heard in this. Welcome to the over 300 people watching now. Please share this so that we can have even more people watching this. So this dispensation will come to an end. Absolutely will. It's not going to, the world cannot carry on the way it is. An intervention has to take place. There is no two ways about it. Let me make that patently clear. It has to happen. The time is not now. You will see many things happening in this world still. Immense suffering. If you think earthquakes are bad now and there's lots of volcanoes going off, what you will see in your lifetime or the lifetime of your children has never happened in the history of the world. We have had massive floods in the history of the world. We have had massive earthquakes in the history of the world. We've had huge storms in the history of the world. Those will pale into comparison what the future will bring. So all I can tell you is to prepare for those eventualities. Make the time and the effort to prepare. And don't listen to these demigods that believe that they can lay out God's will to you. The highest intelligence in the universe, I believe, created everything we see around us. Scientists battle to understand why we exist the way we exist, because they cannot explain it, because they've removed a creator from everything in our existence. They won't even start with a concept of a creator. And this is their greatest flaw. Now, the moment you get people that call themselves believers, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, or Jewish people that believe that a specific thing is going to happen on a specific day, that person is now seeing themselves as a spokesperson for an entire belief system. This is crazy. Crazy. I can never do that. I will never have that ability. I will never predict that day. But what I do know is that it's not now, that there is a lot that needs to happen still, because that is what we were told would happen. And until all of those things have taken place, none of the nonsense these people speak will come to pass. And it'll never come to pass the way they believe, because they don't understand what will actually happen in the end. They are very confused people, and it's unfortunate, because I believe a lot of people, because they appeal to your inner fear, a lot of people are attracted to that kind of thing. If you go and look at these channels, and you go and look at their channel statistics, you will see that each time they put out a video that says that the world end would come, they get a massive spike in supports when things have just been steady for a very long period of time, which means people are driven by fear. It's not an active community. And because people are driven by fear, they want to subscribe to something like that, and they absolutely want to make sure that they hear, when is this person saying the end will come? Now, I can tell you on this channel, this will never happen. You will know when it's going to happen, because you will be able to see what is happening around you. I wouldn't have to tell you. And believe me, what is happening right now is absolute like a peaceful afternoon on a weekend compared to what is going to break loose in future. And it's going to slowly build up to 2030. And when 2030 happens, the kickoff will be immense, running up to 2050. And from that time onwards, many things are possible. I must admit that I believe from 2050 onwards, around that time, up to 2070, all of these things could have been fulfilled and take place. So we have time. So if we still have 30, 40, 50 years left, that is a lot of time. There's a lot that will happen. You can imagine what we can go through. Now, I can be completely wrong about this, but I can tell you now that nothing is going to happen now. Nothing. By 2050, the chances that certain things would have taken place, and it depends on what has taken place, and we will see it with our own eyes. No one would have to tell you or predict it to you on a YouTube channel. Okay. We will be able to discuss these events openly. Because if we had prepared for them, we would be the survivors of these events. And this is what's important to know. We need to do surviving. We are going to need to survive many events. So to do that, we need to prepare. If we are not prepared for these events that we need to survive, we won't make it. And I've said this many times before. And this is why I don't want people to fear. I want you to be prepared. And if you watch the videos on this channel, especially the Moments in Time and Question Everything series in the playlist on this channel, it's available to anyone. You don't have to be a channel member to watch those videos. You can go to the Question Everything series and the Moments in Time series on this channel, watch all those videos to understand what this channel is about. And then if you want to become a member, you can go and watch all the live chats that we have had and the discussions that we've had in detail around this. I just wanted to make it patently clear that the world is not ending tomorrow. It didn't end yesterday as was predicted. And it's not going to end in the next year or in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years. It's not happening. There's a lot of things that will still take place, and you will see incredible things happening in future. We will see miracles happen that hasn't happened in the history of this world. That will confound most people. It'll turn some people to faith, to believe. The unbelievers, people that don't believe in anything or creation or whatever, will believe when they see these things. Other people will turn away from that belief, and it's absolutely our choice. And this is the beauty of the fact that we have a right to make choices here on earth. Like you have a right to believe that every day from tomorrow that the earth is going to come to an end. You can believe that. It's absolutely fine. My perspective is to tell you that you're wasting your time and that what you should rather be doing is preparing for the difficult times that lie ahead. And you will see the signs around you of things that will happen that will make you prepare even more. If you don't prepare, you will suffer the consequences. And this is just a normal part of human life. We all have physical bodies. They can all be injured and they can die. I can die. So the first thing I want to say is always be prepared to die. This should be a normal part of your life without any fear. Be prepared to die. The second thing I want you to do is to prepare for very tough times ahead. And even although we are going through difficult times in the country right now, South Africa is a blessed part of the world. The Southern African region will be especially blessed in these last few decades on earth. And we will make that difference happen. Many people will find refuge here from a deluge of horrific events that will happen in other parts of the world. They will flee to South Africa. Will we be ready to receive these people? Will we be ready to live on our own in isolation when we can't get supplies from other places? Will we be able to get by? Will we be able to manufacture or produce what we need to stay alive here in South Africa? Will we be able to do the basic things to stay alive? Will we be able to do that? That is the question I want you to ask yourself. And then I want you to consider your personal role in your own safety and security and self-reliance. Your role in your family's safety, security, and self-reliance. Then we move on to your community. Then we move on to or your neighborhood, your community. Then we move on to your town, the city around you, the province that you're in, and then the country. What role can you play as an individual to help South Africa? In that order, starting with yourself, then your family. And do what you can to prepare yourself for difficult times ahead. Tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow night where I will lay out the difficulties coming to this country based on decisions that our politicians have made. And I will cut into a lot of detail. And that will happen tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And it's probably going to be a fairly long session. So I would like you to join me then. For those of you that want to consider to become members, you can click on the join button below and you can become a channel member where you can watch the live streams we have every Thursday. We will become more and more specific with the details of what is happening as things are unfolding, not just in South Africa, but around the world. 2 years ago, when I started this channel, many of the things that I spoke of is happening before your eyes. So I don't need to say it to you. You will see it. And I've always said, if your friends and family don't want to listen to you, focus on yourself first, because things will happen to them that'll either make them join our fight to remain free and stay alive and stay safe, or they will join the greater good and they will join smart cities. They will sell their soul to Lucifer, Satan, devil, evil, whatever you want to call it, and literally give up their freedoms to choose, which ceases their humanity. Those are the two choices we have to make at the moment. Do you still want to be a human with freedom of choice, or do you want to hand that over so that you can have a place to stay, food to eat, water to drink, clothes to wear, and all those things? Like Klaus Schwab says, we will make sure that you own nothing and that you will be happy. He's dictating to you how your future will be. And I want you to really consider what that means. I really want to thank the over 450 people watching this live stream now. Please go to the beginning, watch the beginning of this live stream, and share this with your friends and family. I think it's very important that people understand that there's so many people out there, and they might mean the best, that are misleading you, that are abusing your psychology to make you think that the world is coming to an end, and their dates keep on rallying over and over and over. It's like a stuck record, and eventually they're going to get it right. Eventually. I mean, that is how ridiculous this is. So don't listen to people that claim that they have the mind of God in their heads and that they are speaking for you. You don't need that intercession. You have a direct link to the creator of this universe, and you yourself can communicate with that creator and ask for guidance. And I suggest you absolutely do that. And I want to thank the people that are doing active work on the ground to make sure that they become self reliant, that they can look after themselves, the people around them, the people that are setting awesome examples. There's many groups that actually come together, meet with each other, and share ideas with each other. And this is truly wonderful. And in South Africa, it's important that we do this as a broad community, that we don't break this country apart, that we make sure that all the people in South Africa from all backgrounds, religions, from all cultures can come together, those that believe in freedom, and work together to endure the times that are ahead. And South Africa will be better off than most of this world. This southern tip of Africa is once again a very special place. It is the most protected from this new order being created amongst us because we are that new order. And we are not allowing that order to be established amongst us. We are rejecting it en masse in South Africa. The people of South Africa are awesome. And you should be proud of the fact that you live in this country. And what you should do is cherish that fact, show love to the people around you, especially those that are fearful of the future. Give them guidance, tell them, encourage them to become as self reliant as they can, and to tell them that there is still a lot of work to do and work to the very last day. Keep on working. Don't sit back and say, laat God's water oor God's akker loop nie. Don't say, I'm going to sit back and whatever God does to me is what God does to me. Because if you believe that there is a creator, there is a God of the universe, then you should believe that he has a purpose for you here on this earth. Fulfill that purpose. Whatever you believe it is, fulfill it. Do something. Don't sit back and do nothing and just be a pawn in the financial system machinery. Thanks to everyone that's joined. It's really awesome to have this many people in this live stream. Remember, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, I will do a live stream on the status of South Africa again. It'll be on the status of South Africa. I'll be covering many things. That live stream will probably be an hour or longer. And I would like you to join in. It will be the last day of the month, fortunately. And not just fortunately, the world obviously didn't end yesterday. And it's not about egg on people's faces or anything like that. Things like that should not exist. Do not entertain it. Discourage people that do it. Tell them to stop. Tell them to stop fear-mongering and telling the people that tomorrow the world is going to come to an end, or give a date where the world is going to come to an end because of some other twat you saw on YouTube. Just tell them to stop. There's thousands of them. Tell them to stop if you can communicate with them. If you don't know about them, good riddance, don't worry about them. If you are caught up in any of these channels, get rid of it. They serve no purpose in your life. If you are prepared every single day to die, there is no issue. And then prepare for the tough times ahead. That's what all of us need to do. We need to become better people. We need to become more loving. This is very important. Showing love to other people around us will make a huge difference in the outcomes in this country. It would make a huge difference in the rest of the world, but the word love is like almost banished in many other countries in the world. It's just not used. In South Africa, we still use the word love in communities. in close-knit groups. And this is really awesome. We need to continue doing that. We need to continue showing love in our families, to our children, etc. And people, if you fall into the trap, and the psychology being used is very powerful. If I could use that psychology on people on YouTube or any platform, I will be a multi-millionaire. It's the easiest thing to do. My conscience doesn't allow me to do that. So please, empower yourself. You don't have to believe a word I say. Use the information, do with it what you want, and make your own decisions so that you own the consequences of your actions. But I can tell you now, the world is not ending tomorrow, in the next year, in the next 5 years, or the next 10 years. I feel sorry for the people that live that life right now. And yeah, you absolutely have a right to believe that. I can't help you out of that pressure that you're putting on yourself. So, what I suggest you do is prepare for difficulties ahead. Because if you don't, if you just sit back because you think in a year the whole world is going to be a better place, I have news for you. It's not. It's going to get a lot worse because it has to before that intercession takes place. I really want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm so happy that there's so many non-members watching. And tomorrow night, it'll be for all subscribers at 8 o'clock. I'll be doing a live stream then. And please go and watch that. If you want to become a member on this channel, you can click the join button underneath this video. And then you can join us every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock, where we have a live chat and discuss very important things, and where we get into quite a bit of detail. From there, if you want to become an interactive member, you can do that as well, where we have Zoom meetings once a month. But thank you so much for joining me and making it possible for me to share this information. If you could please like this video and share the link with more people. All the live stream on this channel is done really, really well. In the past month, it's been excellent, where we've regularly had, at very odd times, over 400 to 500 people watching live streams. Tomorrow night, hopefully, we can get, again, a couple of hundred people to watch and share the information, because we need this information to get out there. What I'll be dealing with tomorrow night is the state of the nation, South Africa, to tell you where I think we are at now, what we need to do as individuals, which is probably always going to be the same thing unless something drastically changes in the country. But the things to look out for. And these are things that are there evident. I'm not going to conjure up anything in some crystal ball, because I don't have that ability. I will show you the real evidence of what's happening on the ground, that is being reported on, etc. I will give you my perspective on it, and hopefully you can then use that to make changes in your life. So welcome again to those that are new. If there's new subscribers watching, new people watching, please go and watch the Moments in Time and Question Everything series. It's 2 playlists on this channel. It's there for everyone to watch, and you can go and watch all those videos and understand what this channel is about, where I come from, why I do what I do, and why we have the largest community membership in South Africa on this channel. And I really want to commend the members for their massive efforts in changing the future of this country. That ball is already rolling, and we're already making a huge difference. And it's because you're willing to act. You are doing things on the ground actively. You're not sitting back, even although you might be prepared to pass on. You aren't sitting back and saying, oh, well, I have nothing more to do because in a month or 6 months' time, the world is coming to an end in any case. So thank you for doing what you are doing. It's exactly what we need. And thank you to this huge community of almost 1,000 members now for so long. It's really special to have these people on this channel. And if you join us in that community, you will see how special a community it really is. I've met with most of the members on this channel in person, and I will be meeting with many of them again in future. We'll be on the road very soon, and I look forward to that. So thank you. That's all I can say. And to those of you that are new here, go and watch Moments in Time, question everything. Get through those videos, make time for it so that you can understand what we are trying to do. And once again, please discourage anybody from telling you when the end of the world is happening. Not even I can do that. And it's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening in the next year, in the next 5 years, 10 years. There's so much more that needs to happen before we get there. And once again, the people that think that the world is in terrible times right now, we are in end times, they don't know what they're talking about. Yes, we are living in end days, but the end times are going to be way, way worse. I discuss the detail of that in my membership live chats every Thursday evening. So thank you for watching, and please share this again with your friends and family. We have 235 likes. Thank you so much. The more likes and shares we get, the better. I'll take some questions now. If anyone has any questions for me, that'll be great. And then, yes, I'm going to call it a night because I don't want this to be too long, because then many people don't like sitting and watching an hour-long live stream. Hi, Felix. May you all have a lovely week filled with love, lots of blessings. Absolutely, Felix. That's what the country needs, people to bless the country too, and the people around them. Anyone you see anywhere, if someone's wearing a name tag, call them by their name. Just show that they matter to you. It doesn't matter where you are. And a lot of people will ridicule us showing love to people around us. It is the most powerful force in this universe that the creator of this universe has given us. Access that power. It's a real physical power. And scientists cannot understand it. They can just see the results of it. So, very, very important. Gerard, oh, thank God, no doom and gloom today. No, we don't want doom and gloom. It needs to be the opposite. We need to absolutely make sure that all the things that happen to us, that we prepare for them, so there is no doom and gloom. So you can live a happy life and do happy things and do good things out there in your community, in your society. Have fun with your family. I went fishing with my sons on Saturday, and my one son caught a record-sized fish for him. And it was really awesome to have that experience. Go and do things. Hike in nature. Go and have fun by the ocean or in a dam or in a river, or just hike in the mountains. Just enjoy this earth that we are living on. You can do that. Go and walk with your family. We had a nice walk earlier this evening. As a family, we do that often. Go cycling, anything that is positive, and do those things. And if you're prepared for the difficult times ahead, you'll be able to circumnavigate anything. And that's really important. Get out of the gaming trap, Heinrich says. Heinrich, I know that there's youngsters that sit gaming 20 hours a day, sleep for 4 hours, and then they game again. There's many traps in this world. And, at the end of the day, you actually end up damning yourself. I've explained the concept of damnation before. We do it to ourselves. So no one else has to damn us. We absolutely damn ourselves to a state of being almost like a zombie. I'm sure many of you have kids that have fallen into that trap because you provided the means. So if you're a parent and you've provided the means by which your child is trapped into gaming or being on the phone on social media permanently, take it away. Then there is no more problem. And actually be a parent. Spend time with your kids. Because that is why we are here. We are here to spend time with our kids. Very recently, a professor said that our schools are glorified babysitting institutions. And I've said that many times before. I absolutely agree. Us as parents, we have laid down our guard. This is not the topic for tonight. However, we have allowed our kids to be the generation that will give up their freedom freely if they don't have internet access. If someone else can give it to them in any environment where they lose their freedom, they've already lost their freedom because you've given the devices to them that's entrapped them for the rest of their lives. And only you can undo that, hopefully, if it's early enough. If it's too late, There's still things you can do by setting examples, apologizing to your children, saying, I believe I was wrong in doing this to you, but now I want to spend time with you. I want to get to know you. But to get to know a child that's permanently played games, that is their life, that is their reality. Don't do that to your children. Give them other alternatives, and your life will be richly blessed. Thank you very much for watching. Michi saying, yep, and suffer the consequences now. I'm forcefully teaching my child to engage socially, physically, mentally, of course, spiritually. That is so important. Everything is an illusion. The enemy does not want us to get close to Christ. That's why there are so many distractions. Distractions will be everywhere, and whichever religion that you are in, most religions believes that there is either a creator, um, a supreme intelligence in the universe. And I absolutely believe that there is everything around us, the notes that there is a creator. And scientists are blind to this. And this is really unfortunate. And in time, they will also learn the truth. Everyone will know the truth. And the truth now is not that the world was going to end yesterday or the next week or in next year. This is not the case. And a lot will have to happen in the world for it to be the case. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. If it does, I will certainly speak about it. But I truly doubt it. Thanks to everyone that watched. We almost have 300 likes to this video. It helps the algorithms to show it to more people. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We will discuss the state of the nation. Thank you. Goodbye. Lots of love.